3 years after my death, my husband's childhood sweetheart got terminal cancer. He called my mom and told her to make me donate a kidney to his childhood sweetheart. But my mom told him, "My daughter has been dead for 3 years. You're only remembering her now?" My husband snapped impatiently. "How old are you still playing this stupid game? Zhao Zhao's got terminal cancer, so what if she donates a kidney? Why is she being so selfish? Tell her this. If she doesn't show up right now, I'm cutting off your medical bills, you old hag." My mom's sick. Frail body trembled as she spoke. Qianyue is really dead. If you want to find her, go to her grave. Oh, and by the way, Mr. He, do you know why I'm still here? I'm here to watch you get what you deserve. 3 years after my death, my husband He Chengshen finally remembered me. By now, he was a high-profile rising star in the business world. And me? I was just a cursed ghost, trapped here, unable to move on to the afterlife. At that moment, he let out a cold sneer and stormed into the standalone villa in the private estate. The private estate was run by He Chengshen's informants, but no one was allowed to enter that standalone villa. It was only used to lock me up, his misbehaving wife. But I'd been dead for 3 years. No one had lived here in 3 years either. As far as the eye could see, weeds had overgrown the entire outside of the villa. He Chengshen frowned coldly. Ning Qianyue is such a lazy woman. Can't even be bothered to clean up these overgrown weeds? She's nothing compared to Zhu Exu, like dirt next to diamonds. He Chengshen let out a disgusted huff, then pulled a handkerchief out of his pocket and covered his nose and mouth. Who knows what gross smell was bugging him? "You having fun living alone here, Ning Qianyue? Get your ass out here right now." He stood there with a condescending look, disgust oozing from his eyes, like just showing up here was some kind of charity he was bestowing. But he yelled several times, and there was no response from inside at all. He Chengshen lost his patience. He looked at the bodyguards behind him and said flatly, "You guys, break the door down." With a deafening crash, dozens of bodyguards burst through the door, rushing in to grab someone. But less than 5 minutes later, they ran back out, looking completely confused. Mrs. He isn't in here." He Chengshen's eyebrows furrowed into a tight knot, his face grim, like a storm that wouldn't pass. He didn't buy it. He stormed inside and searched every corner but found no sign of her. Then he pulled out his phone to call me. He hadn't contacted me in 3 years. He frowned and thought for ages, but couldn't even remember my phone number. I floated nearby, letting out a bitter laugh. He Chengshen hated me with every fiber of his being, all because 3 years ago, his childhood sweetheart Ruan Shui had a miscarriage, and framed me for it. He Chengshen decided I was a vicious woman, locked me up in this desolate private estate, told me to reflect on my mistakes, and left me here for 3 whole years. He hadn't thought about me once in those 3 years, and now he was fumbling to call me like it was the most awkward thing in the world. But the phone didn't even ring once. It just went straight to a "this number is unavailable" message. He Chengshen cursed furiously. "Damn you, Ning Qianyue! You're hiding from me on purpose, huh? You think I can't find you? Keep hiding then. Let's see how long you can keep this up." Suddenly, a loud, mocking laugh came from the corner behind him. He Chengshen snapped around, furious, and saw a drunk man passed out against the wall by the weeds, his clothes ragged, holding a broken bottle, staring up at him with glazed, drunk eyes. "Quit yelling. The person in there's been dead for ages." The drunk man let out another bitter, hollow laugh, and you couldn't even tell if he was laughing or crying. Where'd this deadbeat drunk come from? One of the sharp-eyed bodyguards stepped forward and kicked him to the ground. "You think you can act like a fool in front of Mr. He? Do you even know this entire estate belongs to the He family? Get lost before Mr. He loses his temper." But after being kicked, the drunk man just laid on the ground like he felt no pain at all. He just kept laughing wildly. Dead. She died a horrible death. Someone pushed her off the top floor, broke her legs. There was blood everywhere. She was so beautiful, and those animals hurt her, then buried her alive. He Chengshen's jaw tightened, staring at the drunk man with clear disgust on his face. "Who the hell are you? Where's Ning Qianyue?" The drunk man kept laughing and crying at the same time. His bottle had been kicked over, clear liquid spilling everywhere, even on his face. For a second, you couldn't tell if it was alcohol or tears running down his cheeks. Still completely drunk, he actually crawled forward and grabbed He Chengshen's leg. She was a good person. A really good person. If she hadn't given me food back then, I would have starved to death. But now she's gone. She's dead. He Chengshen's face went cold, and he kicked the man hard, sending him flying into a small mound of dirt. The drunk man sobered up instantly, panicking as he tried to fix the little mound. He kept patting the dirt down, muttering guiltily, "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean it." He Chengshen stared, confused, and asked him what the mound was. "It's her grave." He Chengshen glanced over coldly, and sure enough, there was a crude, broken plaque there, with messy words carved into it. Ning Qianyue's grave. The drunk man treated the plaque like it was a treasure, lifting the fallen headstone back up, apologizing over and over, rambling like a madman. He Chengshen shoved the drunk man away harshly, let out a cold laugh, and kicked the headstone clean in half. After 3 years, Ning Qianyue is still playing these mind games. She even came up with this ridiculous sad act. Not only did he destroy the headstone, he told his bodyguards to get shovels and flatten the little grave mound. "Let's see how long you can keep this act up, Ning Qianyue." The drunk man watched as the headstone he'd worked so hard to fix was destroyed again. He screamed in panic. "I told you she's dead. Why won't you leave her alone? Miss Ning was such a good person. Why did this have to happen to her?" He Chengshen looked at him with disgust, but ignored him from then on. he said coldly. Ning Qianyue, I know you can hear me. I'm ordering you to get your ass out here in 3 days and donate your kidney to Zhuexu. Do that, and I'll end your punishment, let you come home. If you don't, if you keep hiding and playing these ghost tricks, you'll never see your son again for the rest of your life. After saying that, He Chengshan turned around and left without a second glance. Before he left, he told his bodyguards to break one of the drunk man's legs. You filthy beggar, this is what you get for crossing Mr. He. I floated nearby wanting to cry, but I couldn't shed a single tear. My son, He Ning? I hadn't seen him in 3 years. He Chengshan knew my son was my weak spot, so he was using him to threaten me. If I were still alive, I would have run out to see him in a heartbeat. But I was dead. After He Chengshan and his men left, the villa in the private estate went back to being as desolate and empty as it always was. Next to the flattened grave mound, the drunk man was sobbing quietly, mourning for me at my grave. Seeing his leg broken and covered in blood, my heart ached so bad. Very few people knew I was dead after all these years, but this drunk man was the only one who stayed by my side, even after I died. Once he'd been beaten half to death for stealing. I'd called a doctor for him, and gave him food a few times, so he saw me as his savior, and refused to leave, saying he'd guard the villa for me. Even the day Ruan Shui snuck into the villa and pushed me off the balcony, he was right outside the gate, watching me fall, completely helpless to do anything. Falling from the 5th floor, I should have died instantly, but I survived, just barely, left half paralyzed. The drunk man panicked and ran like crazy to find a doctor to help me. But while he was gone, Ruan Shui saw I was still alive. She hired a few homeless men to assault me, then dumped my broken, bruised body in the backyard of the estate, and buried me alive. As long as you're alive, you'll always be in the way of me and Chengshan. Once you're dead, I can finally be the real Mrs. He. Down in the underworld, don't blame me for being cruel. Blame your bad luck for being my obstacle. Ruan Shui's vicious smile was burned into my memory forever. Maybe it was because of how much hatred I had in my heart. I couldn't move on to the afterlife after I died. I was stuck here, unable to leave. I'd done nothing wrong, but I was framed and hurt like this. When they were burying me alive, I only had one thought. I want to see my son one more time. Without me around, what would Ruan Shui do to hurt him? 3 days later, He Chengshan came back to the private estate. Behind him was Ruan Shui, looking weak and fragile, and my little boy He Ning in a tiny suit. I floated over to him in an instant, overjoyed. But before I could even touch his little body, He Chengshan grabbed him by the neck, squeezing hard. Ning Qianyue, I'm giving you one last chance. The 3 days are up. If you don't come out right now, I'll squeeze the life out of your son with my own hands. He Chengshan really loved his childhood sweetheart. To make me come out and donate a kidney, he was willing to kill his own son just to threaten me. He even brought a team of private doctors with him, ready to do the surgery and take the kidney right here on the spot. Ning Qianyue, you'll live just fine with 1 kidney. But Zhuexu's kidney failure is critical. I'm giving you 5 seconds to decide. 5, 4, 3. He Ning's little face was turning blue from being choked. He tried so hard to break free from his father's grip, but he couldn't move an inch. He just stared firmly towards the villa. Mom, don't come out. Don't worry about me. You already donated one of your kidneys to Dad. If you lose another one, you'll die. He Ning gasped out those words, barely able to breathe. He Chengshan's hand around his neck froze. He stared down at him sharply. What did you say? Your mom was the one who donated the kidney to me?